So we'll begin by settling the body, adopting a stable, comfortable, upright position serviceable for meditation. So we think about keeping our feet flat and our back straight, torso open. Hands in the lap, right over left, with the palms upturned and the thumbs gently touching. Our eyes are gently closed or slightly open, making sure we let in enough light to remain alert. Try to maintain an awareness of not slouching, not leaning. You also let go of any unnecessary tension or rigidity in the body, relaxing into a stable, comfortable, upright position, just allowing the body to fall into place. And we begin to let go of attending to the outside world, constraining our awareness just to the body and mind, allowing sights and sounds to be as they are without investigation. And we begin to concentrate that awareness in the present moment by attending closely to the physical sensation that accompanies the in-breath and the out-breath, particularly in the space around the opening of the nostrils. Giving ourselves the instruction to notice quickly when anything other than that one physical sensation is arising in the mind, and then without judgment or frustration, to lift our awareness up from those distractions and to place it gently but firmly again and again on the breath. And then when the mind feels more calm, we'll generate a broad and altruistic motivation for our time. So take a moment to think in your own life how it is true that you yourself are deeply motivated to be genuinely, truly happy. And you're motivated to avoid even the slightest suffering. From the moment that we wake up in the morning until the moment that we go to sleep, and even in our dreams, we hold this motivation. And recognize that there are no sentient beings who are not similarly motivated. And every single sentient being has an equal claim to achieving that result. Our pain, our desires are no less important, no more important than those of every other sentient being. Every sentient being's claim is exactly equal. So to work only for our own interests would be to ignore all of those uncountable sentient beings. Would also not allow us to tap into our unique potential as a human being with human intelligence, a human capacity to develop the mind. So I think in order to take the essence of this life with this perfect human rebirth, to work for the benefit of all sentient beings, which depends upon becoming deeply familiar with virtue, turning away from non-virtue, transforming my mind, and engaging in that process is the purpose of my time and primary focus of my life. So with that motivation, we'll continue thinking about what are the internal and external factors that can cause me to move into non-virtue. It can trigger an afflicted state in my mind. We've looked at the predispositions for non-virtue that are latent in the mind. And we've looked at coming into contact with objects that for us are objects of attachment or objects of aversion. And the third influence is the people that are around us. So we reflect on how much of my life would I say is influenced by peer pressure. Do we listen to what other people think? How easily are we adopting the values and priorities of others? So just reflect in your own life on these influences. And then think in terms of those that you choose to spend time with, those that you think of as friends. What qualities do you seek out? Do you try to look for people with good ethical discipline, those that are trying to be more kind, more compassionate, more loving, more generous, more patient? Do you look for people who support your interest in spirituality? Do you feel encouraged or discouraged to participate in your spiritual life after speaking or being around them? And having reflected on these influences, try to come to a determination if there are any changes that you think are necessary, any conversations that you think need to be had. And next, we will begin to contemplate our relationship to media sources. So think back over the last couple of weeks. How much of your time did you spend intentionally experiencing these external media sources? Watching television, exploring the internet, and try to come to an understanding of how much of that was really done for a good reason. And how often was it engaged in as a form of distraction? Try to be honest with yourself in terms of coming to understand how often you seek out these sources of entertainment in order to avoid being alone with yourself, thinking, understanding about what's really happening in the mind. And also begin to investigate how much of your own self-image, your own beliefs, are shaped by these sources of media. And then on the basis of these lines of analysis, this investigation, come to a determination in your own mind about your relationship with these sources of media going forward. Be strongly determined to make whatever changes, if any, you feel are necessary. And then when you're ready, we'll come back together. And we'll dedicate. So recollect your altruistic motivation and think that by having engaged in this contemplation, you've actualized that motivation, which has generated positive energy in your mind. And think that you freely offer the fruit of your practice, that positive energy, for the benefit of all sentient beings without exception. Thinking strongly when this positive energy ripens, may it serve as a cause and condition to eliminate war, conflict, poverty, famine, disease, disasters, all painful inner and outer conditions. May it fully ripen the minds of all sentient beings. May they quickly meet perfect teachers and arise in the state of full enlightenment. And here we think, too, about Lorraine's friend Janessa and the Bardo, and all of those beings in the Bardo, thinking that they, on behalf and dependence upon our virtuous karma, may they exit that Bardo into a perfect human rebirth, where they can find those perfect teachers, accomplish that path, achieve enlightenment. And we think that may I too achieve that state of enlightenment so that I might be able to work for the benefit of sentient beings perfectly. I think any obstacles that's facing the Guru's long life be completely dispelled. And think may I and all other sentient beings in this moment, may we all come under the joyful care and guidance of enlightened beings. May we be guided and protected until we swiftly achieve that state of enlightenment. Thank you